So this week I'm doing Evangelism 101, talking to you about how to reach people for Jesus. Yesterday I spoke about compelled, which is us that need to be compelled by the love of God, seeing people as already forgiven from God's perspective. And then today I want to talk to you about how to connect. And so when we connect to people, this can be one of the scariest things for people. How to walk up to somebody that's unknown on the street or in a plane or in a mall or wherever in the township. And if you get over this, you'll see the rest of the conversation will follow quite organically. But this is something that we have to get over. And so I've also feared this in the beginning, but I got over it. And a lot of evangelism will not happen to unknown people, but will actually happen to family members and friends. And I'll teach you how to do that as well. But how to connect. And so if you want to connect, you also have to have a drive. Why do I want to connect? What is it that drives me to connect? And so after Paul wrote about being compelled, he gave the reason why people want to come to Jesus. And he said this in 2 Corinthians 5 verse 15. He says, "And he died for all, that those who live should no longer live for themselves, but for him who died for them and rose again." So we see here that Paul says the greatest blessing is not to live for yourself anymore. Now you actually have a purpose. You're living for the one that died for you and rose again. So you are taking people from death to life. You are taking them to a place where they now have the opportunity to live the resurrected life, to live that life that they were created to live. And so it's such a privilege to do that. It's such a blessing to be able to take people from that state of death to life. And so when you have that in your heart, it's easy to connect. So what I do is I'll just walk up to somebody. This is the scary part. And I'll just say, "Hey, I'm Alfred. This is Jesse," or whoever is with me. I'll introduce myself. I'll say we are from a church in town and we are just here to share with you on Jesus. Can we have a few moments of your time? If they say, "I'm busy, I have a church of my own," then usually I will not force them to talk with me. I will say, if you are too busy, that's fine, you can go. If you are part of another church, I'll also say, "That's wonderful, can we still pray with you?" If it's a family member or a friend, maybe you can just say something like, "Hey, can I ask you something personal? Is there something that I can pray for you?" So it's a conversation starter. It's just something that helps you to connect. And from there on, you will see the Holy Spirit will help you, and you have to also be ready in that moment to receive some rejection. So if people do reject you, it's not a big deal. They're not rejecting you, they're rejecting the gospel, the message, they're rejecting Jesus in you. It's not about you being rejected. And so prepare your heart that you might be rejected and be fine with that. I mean, just say, "Hey, if you don't want to speak 100% fine, we're not going to force anybody. We're here to present something and they have the opportunity to receive." Some practical tips: dress normally, look normal, have your breath smelling well, have your body odor that it smells well, so that people also receive you in terms of the natural realm. But apart from that, let's start connecting with people. Tomorrow I'm going to talk to you about how to have a conversational style of evangelism. Always remember, you are highly favored and deeply loved.